Hi everybody, Sarah the Attic Stitcher. Today is June 20th, 2025. Kitten is trying to get the rubber band that I confiscated from her. Oh, now she's going to go to one of the other cats who's playing with something. So it all works out. This is Flosstube number 7. And this is going to be a very short Flosstube because I just have a finish to show you all and then go over my plans. I did not get a lot of stitching done. Once I did my finish, I focused on that for the first week after my last Flosstube, and then this past week I was out of town and then kind of recovering and focused on doing some different crafting this past week in preparation for a trip next week. So I did want to say thank you if you're coming back as a returning subscriber. I think it's wonderful that you enjoy me enough to spend some of your time with me. There are 273 or so, last I checked, of you who liked me enough to subscribe. And that just kind of boggles my mind that there are people who enjoy spending time with me that much. If you're a new viewer, this is your first time seeing me, hi, I'm Sarah. I have 3 cats. The table might be shaking a little bit because Kitten is trying to go for everything she can't have, like string and stuff. And because I confiscated a rubber band from her, as I said. So anyway, there's her tail. Bye, Kitten. New viewer, thanks for viewing. I hope you enjoy what I have to share. Like I said, it's not going to be much this time because I've not stitched a lot, but I wanted to stay on track with my videos. And so you're welcome to go back and view some of my older videos to kind of get more of an idea of what I stitch and stuff, and all of that. Just update, for those who may not know, I got diagnosed with melanoma skin cancer back at the end of March, beginning of April. Went through that whole process, had surgery. The surgery came back showing clear of cancer cells. So we're just in the let this heal up and then, just monitor and make sure nothing else pops up. But that's healing up really nice. I actually put a bigger band-aid on than I have been because I didn't have one of my smaller ones to put on this morning. But it's healing up pretty nicely. I can't really complain about how it's healing up. And I appreciate all the good thoughts and prayers that you all have been sending me. It's much, much appreciated. So let's get into this very short video. Like I said, I have one finish to show you all, and that is my Poppies for Dad. This is from Lifted Spirit Patterns. You can find them on Etsy. That's where I bought this pattern from. I started this December 25th, 2024, and I started it in memory of my dad who passed away last year unexpectedly, and finished it right before Father's Day, which was kind of my goal. I wanted to be able to finish it before Father's Day, and here it is. I'm really, really pleased with how it came out. I love the poppies. I stitched this on a 28 count San Lugana from Picture This Plus, and I used the called for DMCs except for I switched out the lighter orange. So this lighter orange you see here, I think it was like 340 something, and originally it was like a 3050 something or other. And the reason I switched it out is because this middle red orange, it was just too similar to that. It just didn't have any kind of contrast and stuff, so I switched it out, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. The poppies are just beautiful. the green kind of tied it all together once I added the stems and stuff and all of that. I really should have centered it more on my fabric, but I didn't. But I'll still be able to finish it pretty okay. For those who are wondering, the quote, it says, "Dad, always willing, always sharing, always careful to be fair, always helping, always caring, when I need you, always there, ever loving, ever guiding, ever faithful, ever true, in moments of hesitation, Dad's wisdom sees me through." Like I said, this was a memorial piece for my dad. So, here it is. Very, very, very pleased with how it turned out. To finish it, I want to frame it. I don't think I left enough of a margin around the top and side here to where I can do an oval frame like I was kind of picturing. So I'm thinking I'm going to look out for a larger square rectangle frame and then maybe just see about getting an oval mat for it. I want to hang it up on a wall. I've got some picture frames hanging on my bedroom wall of me and my dad, and I'd like to put it up there with those. So that was my finish. That was my first finish of 2025, which was exciting. It was my piece that I finished in memorial of my dad. And now I'm trying to think, you know, I would like to start another piece in honor of him. I think there's one that I've been eyeing, and I think I might have mentioned it in a previous Flosstube. I'm really looking at maybe doing Teresa Winsler's Tradewinds. Samantha, the Huga Stitcher, has just started stitching it, and so it's kind of cool to be able to watch somebody stitch it. I've seen some people finish it in like a Teresa Winsler group I'm in on Facebook and stuff, so I know it's beautiful and I love it, and it makes me think of my dad. My dad was in the Navy, he loved ships, and I think that's the piece I want to do next in honor of him. I'm not sure I'm ready to start a Teresa Winsler, so I'm kind of going to give myself a little bit of space between finishing the Poppies and then potentially starting Teresa Winsler. If a different pattern comes up between now and when I'm thinking I want to start my next piece for Dad, which is in the fall. My dad's birthday was in November, so I think I want to do it in November. Start something then. I'm not sure. I'm a little daunted by Teresa Winsler patterns. So I may look at potentially seeing about doing some of her freebie patterns that are out there, just to kind of get a feel for how her patterns go and all of that. Teresa Winsler patterns are known for being quite advanced, and you know, a lot of her older ones were handwritten, hand-drawn symbols and stuff. So yeah, but I think Tradewinds is the one that I would like to start come November for my dad. So that's all the stitching I did. Like I said, I finished that before I left for my weekend trip. I finished it before Father's Day, and I've not had time this past week to do any other kind of stitching because I've been doing other kinds of crafting. As for plans, obviously I want to definitely pick up some more stitching. At the beginning of the year / when I started my Flosstube, I had set kind of a goal where I wanted to finish my first cross stitch I started, Cats and Floral Hats by Pam Kellogg, and I also wanted to try and finish my first Mirabilia pattern, the Winter Queen, before the end of the year, or by the end of the year, because I didn't want to go in 2026 having them still. One, because January is my birthday month, and I don't want to have 3 years of birthday starts going. So the Winter Queen is my birthday start that I started in 23, and then, or in 24 I mean, and then like I said, the cats and flower hats is my first cross stitch I started. So I kind of want to have those finished and not take them into 26. I'm not sure that even if I stitch monogamously on the Winter Queen, that I will be able to finish her before 26 comes around. I know for sure I should be able to finish cats and flower hats, because I've got it pulled out right here. This is a pattern. It has 4 cats. I have 2 finished. The third just has the last half of its face and the back stitching to do, and then I just have all of the 4th one to do. So I'm almost done with this piece, and so I had made it my goal to where the first time I sit down each week to stitch, I would stitch that evening just on this piece. I think I want to up that because I would like to work on getting this finished. I'm so close, I kind of just want to stitch monogamously on it and finish it because I'm that close to finishing it. So there's a part of me that's like, well, my plans might consist of just monogamously stitching on this piece and showing you all another finish in Flosstube 8, or it might consist of just kind of switching between cats and flower hats, and then maybe the next night doing Winter Queen, and then back to flower hats, and go back and forth like that. I'm not sure. I'm also just not sure how much stitchy time I'm going to get in, because next week I am out of town on another trip. So I've just got a lot of traveling. I don't have a lot of free time in June from all of this stuff. So it's probably gonna be July before I can really like sit down and have stitching time again. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with my plans. So we will see when I come back in 2 weeks, which should put us in 2 weeks, July 4th. Yep, July 4th should be my next Flosstube. So we'll see if July 4th, how far I've come along on Winter Queen and cats and flower hats, or floral hats, whichever word it is. And just kind of go from there. Kind of try to get back in the groove, because the last 6 months have been kind of crazy months and stuff. So just trying to get back in the groove of stitching once more. So I think that covers it. I did have a really great time on my trip this past weekend. If you follow me on Instagram, which is @Sarah_the_Attic_Stitcher, you will have seen some of the pictures that I shared where I went to a Power Rangers convention and got to meet actors from all the different seasons of Power Rangers that there are, which is a lot of fun. Power Rangers was a big part of my childhood. I still really enjoy it just for nostalgia purposes and stuff, so I just really enjoyed getting to go. I go with one of my really good friends and have fun with her. So yeah, that's what I did. That kind of took up a lot of my stitching time. And I go on I go on another trip next week and stuff. So June was pretty busy, but July is going to be a lot more chill. So thanks for watching along. I hope it wasn't too boring, and I will see you all in 2 weeks on July 4th with Flosstube number 8. And I hope you all have a great time stitching. Bye.